Hello everyone, it is Sunday, it is 7 o'clock and it is time for Wilson Waffling Live! So, hello everyone, hello and welcome to Wilson Waffling Live, and you might just have to turn down your microphone, your volume switch, because I'm not too sure how sensitive my microphone is at the moment. Welcome. It's been almost like, I think it's been almost like 6, 7, 8 weeks since the last Wilson Waffling Live, so it's really good to be back. And you might have noticed we've hit that half a century because we are at episode 50. This is episode 50 of Wilson Waffling Live, and what a wonderful packed show I have for you today. We've got some new segments coming along. I've rejigged everything, but we'll still have some of the old favourites, such as Draw Something, that you can have a guess on with that competition. We've still got things like Tweet of the Week coming along, and we've even got the Minecraft montage later on. Now, before we go any further, please remember that you can keep up to date with what's happening and joining in the show by nipping along to the chat, and the chat you can find at wilsonwaffling.co.uk, and up at the top you'll find a link to the live show, and I've even opened it up today so anybody can come along and view, anybody can chat. You don't need to log in, you can just come and say hi there and say well done, how are you doing, or ask me any question. Also, please remember that there is a part of this episode called Ask Waffling Wilson, and also on wilsonwaffling.co.uk you will find up at the top there's a little button, and the button says Ask Me, and by all means you can press that button and it'll take you to a web page, and you can type in any question you want to actually ask me a question. So, and then I'll answer them live on the show either this week or next week or whenever I get around to doing it. I don't actually know any of the questions, I do that live on the show. The other thing that I have to tell you is that, oh sorry, just ruined my headphones there. The other thing that I have to tell you is that I must apologise for any blinding feedback I gave you, the sound of my voice, or anything that goes slightly wrong in this episode. I've actually changed the complete setup here at Wilson Waffling headquarters and in my control centre here, rather than having my old blue Yeti mic. And now up here, you probably can't see it, but just up here I have a condenser mic. Here it is, look, here it is. Woo! There it is, there it goes, and that's hopefully picking me up loud and clear. I've also got a mixer now, and that's mixing everything together, but it's not working 100% at the moment, so please bear with me as I'm going through this show. The other thing that I'd like to remind you is that there's only me producing this, so if you notice me looking over to that side at any point throughout the show, then this is because this is where Wirecast is on my second screen, and that's sort of like keeping me up to date. Also, if I look this way, this is where the chat is, so I'll be following the chat there. So that's sort of like, oh, remember, if you would like to tweet me throughout the show, then you can of course tweet me using this Twitter handle here, which is at iWilsonYSJ, and I will keep my Twitter open, so if anybody, rather than join the chat, if you would prefer just to tweet me, then by all means put at iWilsonYSJ and use the hashtag WillWaffLive, and then that'll come up and I'll be able to see instantly. So there's loads of ways that you can interact with the show, and we're going to head right in there to start off, because we are going to go to a new segment of the show. Well, not a new segment, but I've got a new little segment filler for it. We're going to go straight across to the tweet of the week. Whoops, you nearly had it twice. You nearly had it twice. First blooper. That was the first thing I went, welcome to the tweet of the week. So this week, the tweet of the week. What I do throughout the week is that I pick up some interesting tweets that I find and some things that catch my attention, and I share them with you here today. So remember, you can always follow me on at iWilsonYSJ. So if you follow me throughout the week, then some of these will always already be familiar to you. And if not, then this is a perfect place for a roundup, and we can get straight into it. So first things first, I must say, and you probably remember this or you know this, that university is starting back. University is starting back. And last week I was really pleased to see all the Sports and Society people from the University of York St John getting together to prepare for the new semester. And one tweet that caught my eye was this one. That was the Sports and Societies and our new Vice-Chancellor. We've got a new Vice-Chancellor at the university this year, which is fantastic. Really looking forward to meet her. You never know, she might even be on this show. If you are listening, Vice-Chancellor, if you are listening to this, then come on and have a chat with me. I'm sure we can find something interesting to talk about. But I was really pleased to see that the Student Union, YSJ, who's a fantastic, really small student union, but really guided and really challenging the student ethos and all the hard-hitting sort of like topics within across the nation. And one thing that I was really pleased to see is that they're still fighting on with the It's Not Okay campaign, which is set up to prevent sexual harassment on the campus, and they're all there with the Vice-Chancellor to say it's not okay. And I think that's a really valuable cause that they're actually working on. Keeping with the university, my other tweet of the week that I really enjoyed was that last week or 2 weeks ago I went to a social economy fair, and the social economy fair was held at York St John, and it was a conference that lasted 3 days and brought people from all over the country together, and they came from South America, South Africa, from the UK, all came there to join in a conference related to social economy. And I must say to everybody there, but particularly the organisers, I was astounded by the technology that was there and how I was able to actually engage with conversations with both in both English but also in Spanish as well, and the way that came together and the good ideas. And it also reminded me of the strong links between social economy and looking after the environment. And being doing an environmental studies degree at my degree, then I'm really passionate about that as well, and it was really nice to see how those two sort of like linked together. Now, as I move through the tweet of the week, you'll be able to see that I tend to move away from more sort of like hard-hitting stuff to more sort of like enjoyable thing. A bit like at the end of the news, you know, when you get to the end of the news and you have that little bit at the end which is a little bit funny. Well, this is what I do with tweet of the week. So if you're a new starter or this is your first show, then you'll get used to me, don't worry. So the other thing that I thought was, look at this. I actually found this through my Twitter feed, which is actually superhero bookends that save books from falling down. I just thought that was fantastic. They're all leaning across there, and there's a Superman or superhero propping them up there, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. And I thought it was a valuable addition to anybody's bookshelf. Now, the final tweet that I wanted to go, and it's going to lead to a bit of a video, and I'm a bit, to be honest with you, I'm a bit concerned at running this video because I'm not too sure what the sound levels are going to be like. So whether or not it's going to deafen you or deafen me, or whether or not you won't be able to hear my voiceover or whatever, so please bear with me. The only way I can actually check all this is to go back and watch the video on YouTube when I put it up to see what it's like. So if you're watching live, dreadfully sorry. just bear with me until I get the technical side of it also like sorted. So the next tweet, and the tweet of the week for this one was a wonderful one that was uploaded that was called Munchkin Teddy Bear Ewok. And as you might know, I'm a fan. I love Star Wars. I'm really looking forward to the film coming out, and I love Star Wars. And I also I play the game Star Wars: The Old Republic, and I stream that on my Twitch TV channel. So by all means, you can go watch that if you like gaming. But this was a fantastic video of a dog that is being dressed up as an Ewok. Has been dressed up as an Ewok. So here we are. Fingers crossed, guys, that this is going to work. Let's see how it goes. Look at him. How can you not love that? How can you not love that? How adorable was that? How adorable was that? Now, I'm not too sure what you actually heard there, but I will, of course, go back and actually check later on. So if you didn't hear the fantastic background music on there, that I do apologise, but hopefully I'll be able to sort that out later on and make sure that you can actually hear everything. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was this week's tweet of the week. Hope you enjoyed that. Now, what's next? Let me check my running order. So we've had tweet of the week, and the next thing we're going to start looking at is that you might have remembered in my old shows from episode 1 up to 49, you might have noticed that I did what's known as the educational bit. And this is why when I reread my blog post that I'd written on Wilson Waffling Live, and I would reread that too and summarise it and get some discussion going online what I thought. And I thought, although this was very valuable and I really enjoyed doing it, I thought you can actually go and read that, and I actually do a little blog post about that, and I actually record it in any case. So what I'm planning on doing is change that bit a little bit, and the idea is over the holidays I finished a course actually produced by a guy called Colin Gray. And Colin Gray is a person who is in charge of the podcast host and the podcast show. And the podcast show is a wonderful website that is all set up for people who are interested in podcasting. Here's a web page here. So it's at www.thepodcasthost.com, and on this sort of like web page there's loads of things to do, and there's books, but the interesting thing is up here there's some courses, and you can actually do some courses, and over the holidays I actually did both these courses. I actually completed them both, and I must say that they were fantastic, really helpful, and it really sort of like got me into podcasting, or maybe got me back into podcasting, because I suppose I was almost there, but I sort of like only did it for the blog post, and then I came into this video setting for the majority of the for everything else. But I thought it's going to be really useful. I really wanted to sort of like start up my podcast again and actually produce a proper podcasting sort of like program or show, and rather than being live like this one. So this show is live, hence Wilson Waffling Live. This one is live, and then what I actually do is that it gets uploaded to Ustream automatically, and then I export that directly to YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you are actually watching the uncut version of Wilson Waffling Live. There's nothing changed. All the messes, all the times I mess up, all the bloopers are actually in there just for you to see. So you're almost like here. The only thing that you can't do, of course, is join in with the chat, etc. Although there are always comments below that you can actually add to. But I actually thought what I'm going to start to do is produce a podcast that is more, shall we say, refined, and that I sort of like really worked at and sort of like got so it's really, really slick. And because of that, I thought I'm getting there. I know this is a long way around. You're probably thinking, Ian, just get to the point. But the idea is that eventually what will happen is that blog segment will go onto the podcast, and that will all be part of the podcast, and I'll mesh it together so it sounds really good and then publish that. I'm also, hopefully, you might have noticed that at the beginning I had new titles, and of course we have that music that is produced by Joshua Burnell, and you can actually see his link to his SoundCloud down in the description at the end of this show on YouTube if you'd like to go and look at his other sounds and music that he makes. But do you know, I just forgot what I was going to say then. I got so carried away with talking to you that I completely forgotten what oh yes, I remember. Yeah, and linking to the podcast, I'm hopefully going to get some new artwork, because as you know, I am not the most creative person around, so I really need somebody else to sort of like create that fancy artwork to sort of like bring a branding to Wilson Waffling in the biggest sense of the word, and hopefully that will be coming along shortly. So with all that sort of like blog sort of like taken away from the educational bit, I didn't want to just leave it with nothing to talk about. So what I thought I would do instead is that rather than actually talking about just general my blog post, I thought I would become more generic, and I thought the best thing to do is to have what I'm going to call the website roundup. What I should have is me at the end saying, "Welcome to the website roundup," but I don't. Are you getting sick of that tune? I really like that tune, and I'm sorry, you might have noticed all the nice or like fancy titles, but that's because I've been using After Effects. I've been using After Effects so much, so that's where all those titles are coming from. So this is the website roundup. So in this section, I just want to show you certain things that you can find, certain things that you can go along and look at on the website and on my website, and things that you can go and have a look at. So without further ado, let's zip across. Here we go. Let's just zip across. So as you'll probably be aware, this is wilsonwaffling.co.uk. This is my website, and you can see that along the bottom here, if you're not familiar with it, along the bottom here, this is where you can see all the previous posts. And of course, this was the one, this is the end, is the one that I did before I broke up, and then boom, I'm back is this week. So I'm not going to talk about it, but you could go and have a look. So by all means, just like I mentioned before, if I just zoom in a bit here, this is the Ask Me button, and this takes you across to the Ask Me page, and you can see there you can just type in your question there. You don't need to log in or anything like that, you can just do it. And you can see here I actually post the part of the show that has your answer in below, and you can just go and have a look at it. So you can see there's been quite a few questions asked, including who makes you laugh, okay, and favorite year group and why, and the very topical, will you watch the Oscars? Okay, so simple questions such as summer or winter. Okay, it's totally up to you. You can ask anything as anything you want. Even though you don't like PE, would you actually enjoy teaching it? Okay, so you can actually ask me anything that you want. So that's actually on the web page there. And if you are not familiar with this, let me just reset it. This is the Wilson Waffling Live tag just here, and you can actually see now that I've also added an about the show. So if you're wondering what Wilson Waffling Live is all about, or what audience it's meant to be to, then that is the button. And of course, this button, I'm not going to press it, because if I press it now, you will see the live broadcast, and it'll be like an unreal event. And it'll be like we're in some kind of time lapse or something. So we don't want that. That's when the live show comes up. Now, the other thing that I would like to point out, that over here is the badges and levels, and on the website now there are a whole load of waffling levels that you can actually ascertain. There you go. There's a whole load of open badges that you can actually earn right the way down until you are a proficient waffler. Right the way down there. Past that, keep going. Waffling scholar, and then right at the top you can, with 12,000 points, you can actually become a waffling legend on the site. So if gamification is something that you're really into, then that's where you can go to start collecting your open badges. Of course, there's a list here in the waffling challenges of the challenges that you can actually do to get you started. And also I've started to put some challenges up, and this is a guy climbing a rock face, very challenging. Up here you can see that I've put some challenges up. So here's the first challenge there that you can start to get 300 points if you want to be involved. The other thing that is also here, and it used to be called Win a Badge, and you can see that this was ended quite a while ago, and I'm actually going to change the competition, and as well as a badge, and you are hearing this first today on Wilson Waffling Live, as well as a badge, there is also going to be the opportunity to win a £5 Amazon gift voucher. Yes, you heard it right on this show. I know the Wilson Waffling I Waffled with Wilson badge is absolutely fantastic, but in order to increase the prize fund, we are going to have an I Waffled with Wilson badge plus a £5 Amazon gift voucher, which if you win, you can go off and win whatever you want. Now, remember that show will start at the starting tomorrow, so on Monday. So if you're watching this on Tuesday, then you're behind already. And when it comes up, you will be able to enter here, and you'll be able to collect entries, and then the more entries you have, the better chance you have in the draw of winning the prize. And so you keep collecting those entries, and then what happens at the end is that the computer automatically picks a random person. Well, it's not random. It's random, but in the sense that it's a bit like the Hunger Games. A bit like the Hunger Games. You know, in the Hunger Games, there's that pot, and every year that you're not chosen, you put your name goes in more than once. It's a bit like that, but it's a good prize rather than being put on an island and being shot at. Okay, because you get an I Waffled with Wilson badge and a £5 gift voucher. Okay, so that's there. And the other thing that I would just like to draw your attention to, because we'll be having a look at it later on, is the Waffling forums. And the Waffling forums here is something that I haven't been using for a while, but I've just started up again. And you can see here that we've got a discussion forum. We've got something here called the Opinion Minion, which I'll be coming to later on. But I've also been hitting a lot of teaching ideas here, and if you'd like to go and have a look at the teaching ideas, then there's quite a few there, and I'm trying to add them as soon as I think about them. So by all means, go and have a look at that. If you do have some spare moments and you're looking to sort of like enjoy Wilson Waffling, or you just want to go and have a look at things, then there's a couple of posts that I would recommend to you. This one is called Back to School, New or Repeat Performance. And this is when I talk about, starting back at school and how to sort of like maybe teach differently or do things a little bit differently. And although we often hear comments like smile before Christmas or don't smile before Christmas, here I sort of like relate that more to behavior management and how I used to approach behavior management within my classroom. There's also things about having confidence in your teaching style, and having that confidence to teach how you've been trained. And there's also this idea that when you're teaching, it's important to reflect but not too critically. So if you're an NQT, or you're just going back for the first time, or you've been back a few weeks now, and you want something to read, then that I would recommend that. Also, as I mentioned beforehand, university is starting shortly, and this one, this is a blog post that I wrote back in August 2014, and this one is called Starting the Adventure. And here I talk about things you can do to start back at university, and things that I would sort of like recommend you go and sort of like enjoy and get yourself organized. So things like getting yourself a calendar so you know what's happening when, note taking, the best way to take notes, etc. And of course I recommend my favorite note taking app, which is Evernote, and there I've got an article down here that you can click on. And also things to do with to-do lists and keeping everything organized. Okay, and so those are a couple of blog posts that if you're sat around thinking, oh, what shall I do this week? What shall I do? And you're not too sure what you want to sort of like get to grips with, then those are two wonderful blog posts to go and have a read on wilsonwaffling.co.uk. And that was the website roundup. I don't know how to finish these segments. Should I? And that was the website roundup. Pause. Should I then play the music again, so you hear that music again and again and again? Or I could just sort of like play a single riff, just sort of like one little bit of the music, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll work on that. We'll see how it goes. Do you fancy a game? Let's do something that we love doing here on Wilson Waffling Live. And the thing that we really love doing is that we love playing a game called Draw Something. And unfortunately I have not at the present moment in time got a fancy segment for Draw Something. So unfortunately we're just going to say draw something and leave it like that. I might play a bit of music, but I don't know if you remember, but we used to have, I'm just getting everything set up to see whether or not we can get it on the screen here. I'm hoping everything will burst into life in a second, because it's not at the moment. But the idea of Draw Something, what's happening here? Come on. Very strange. Oh, there we go. Let's see if it's working now. Fingers crossed, everyone. Fingers crossed, because if this doesn't work, I'm going to be devastated. So over here I have my iMac, and this is what this is where we get oh no, that's not working. We want that. Oh no, people, it's not working. I don't know what to do. Right. I'm not going to be put off here. We're just going to start Reflector again. I use an application called Reflector, and I told you something like this would happen. And Reflector allows me to mirror. We're there. We got it, guys. We've got it. We are here. So let me just get rid of that and call that up. And hopefully we've got it on the screen now. I just need to move it over slightly and up. So here we go. And we are ready for Draw Something. Okay. Oh, I don't have a piece of music for this. So we'll just go for a single riff. Let's just have this. Enjoy it. And that's it. That was a single riff, hopefully. So that was the Draw Something. So here we go. We're going to play Draw Something. Now, this was the last Draw Something from last week, from the last time. So this was on episode 49, and this was the thing that I drew, and I drew this live. And what it was meant to be a TV series. Okay, now remember, we draw something, you can actually contact me and you can tweet me the answer. You can contact me on Facebook by direct message, or you can add it in the comments in the chat here. It's completely up to you. And then next week I'll put up the answers and we'll see who got the right answer and who didn't do so very well. However, this is this week's. Okay, so this was episode 49. So if you weren't here, have a guess. What do you think it was? Okay, it was a famous TV series. Okay, you got it? Brilliant. Yes, it was Breaking Bad. Excellent. So that was the last competition. So today we're going to do a new one. So I'm just going to get myself a blank piece of paper. Oh, can you remember the other ones that we did? So these are the other ones. This was a word. And can you remember that was fang? And then this was another word, and this was stain. This one was beggar. That was a hard one, that one. This was a film. And this was Back to the Future, of course. And this one was a famous book. And not a lot of people got this one, actually. This was The Tale of Two Cities. And then we had Breaking Bad. So this week, this is going to be a word. Okay, so this is going to be a word, because I thought what we're going to do is that we're going to start off, we're going to make the first one a little bit hard. Okay, so this is a hard one because I'm not doing easy ones like Back to the Future anymore. This is going to be hard. So this is a word. I'm going to draw two pictures. So, and I'll try to change the colors as I go along. So this is the first picture. Now, I do apologize. Remember, I teach mathematics and science. I do not teach art. Let's just draw that like that. And then I'm going to change my color, and I just need to rub a bit of that out. You can't possibly guess what it is yet, so don't even try to. And this is going to be really difficult with just my finger. I'm going to try. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little stopper in there, and then on there is going to be a bottle with something written on it. A bottle. So that's the first part. Now remember, you're looking at a word. It's just one word. Okay, it's just one word. And here's the other part of the picture. Now forgive me for this, because there's one thing I can't draw, and that's people. This is sort of gender. It's not gender specific or anything like that. I better give it some hands. Okay, so, and then watch this. Hang on, let me do. Oh no, let me just draw. That, and then we're going to draw like that. Okay then, so that is the word. Now, I'm going to give you a clue. Okay, so I'm going to give you a clue. Now, if you want to just have a guess without the clue, then I'm going to hold my hand up. This is how we play it. I'm going to hold my hand up like this. So if you don't want to hear the clue, then block your ears or turn the sound down while my hand is up like that. So as you see my hand going back down, you can turn your sound back up again. Okay, got that? So here's the clue. Okay, so hand going up, turn your sound off now. The clue is it's a verb. Turn your sound back up. The clue has gone. So that is the word for this week's word for draw something. Remember, you can tweet me the answer if you wish. So you can always tweet me at iwilsonySJ. Remember that if you have a private account, or your tweets are privated on a private account, then that won't actually show on mine unless you actually follow me first. Okay, or you can contact me on Facebook, and or you can contact me on Instagram or Snapchat. It's completely up to you. But that is to this week's draw something. So what do you think? It's a word, and if you had the clue, then you'd know the clue. So there you go. So that's the draw something. So far we've had the tweet of the week, we've had draw something, we've had the website roundup, and now for a brand new segment of the show. Yes, I did say that. This is a brand new segment. Okay, we've never had this segment before, ever. We've never had it before, and I've got a really catchy segment thing for it. Okay, so here's a little intro to the segment. So here comes the new segment. Yes, this is the Opinion Minion. The Opinion Minion. Now, what I thought I would do on this part is that rather than having the educational bit that we had before, the Opinion Minion is a time in the show that I actually tell you what I think. I actually tell you what I think, and we're going to be very open here. I'm not going to hover on the fence. I'm going to be very direct to you, and this is when I would like you lot to get involved as well. And you might have remembered earlier on I mentioned a part of the website that I have called the Opinion Minion Forums. There it is, just up here. Okay, so what's going to happen is that whenever I do an Opinion Minion, I'm going to then post it up there with the link to the video so you can go watch it, and I want your comments as well. I want you to be brave and put your opinion. Be an Opinion Minion just like me. Be an Opinion Minion just like me. So go along, and you could be an experienced teacher, you could be a trainee teacher, you could be a student, you could be just somebody who's watching the show on the YouTube, but go along and post your opinion to what I'm going to talk about. So the question is, what am I going to talk about today? What am I actually going to talk about? Well, I'm going to talk about an article that I found on the Conversationalist, the Conversation, and the Conversation you can find at theconversation.com, and it's later on I'm going to get a little bit more hard hitting about this, and we're going to tackle some really difficult concepts and really difficult topics. So stay with us. This is your first show, don't worry. You might think, oh, this is not very opinionated. We'll get there. But what we're going to talk about today is that there was this actual article that was put in the Conversation that was called "What's the Best Way to Take Notes on Your Laptop or Tablet?" Now, you can go and have a look at this if you wish, and I'm not going to read it to you, don't worry, and I'm going to have a look at this title, and I'm going to think, what do I think is the best way to take notes? Okay, so I'm going to change it a little bit. I'm not going to just focus on the laptop or the tablet. I'm going to just sort of like talk about it more in general. So, what is the best way to take notes? Now, there is so much information out there at the present moment in time, and I am going to come back and discuss this because it's something that I'm very passionate about, and it's something that I see again and again and again and again coming up on websites and articles. And to be totally honest, I get quite angry with some of the comments. Anyway, the thing that really annoys me is all this discussion about mobile devices going into classrooms and things like that. And one thing I'd like to say right now, you and me, right here now, I am in favour of mobile technology and technology enhanced learning. I am in favour of that, and anybody who knows me will probably say, yeah, Ian, we know that. The biggest problem I think with mobile technologies is that when learners have them out in class, then there's this distraction. And the distraction is something that is sometimes very difficult to overcome. But that to me is like human nature. We automatically get distracted. And I find it really interesting at times. And I'm going to have to stop myself at the moment because this opinion minion is not on mobile devices. But I get distracted in staff meetings. I hold my hand up. It happens, okay? But at the same time, I'm using my device to take notes, etc. So why would I use a tablet or PC or piece of paper to do my notes? What's my opinion about that? Well, first things first, the best way to take notes has to be down to you. And although you might be thinking, here we go, sat on the fence. No, let me finish. I'm a very techie person, okay, and as you probably know, I use Evernote for the majority of my notes. But there are also times that I like to get a huge big sheet of paper out and just scribble all over it, especially if I'm thinking about massive ideas, things like yearly plans or a year's program to create or modules across the year. I like to get a big sheet of paper and draw all over it. I get my Sharpies out and just go for it. And for that, when I'm taking notes like that, I like to write it down. I also like to take notes down, sometimes very sketchy notes. And if you look on the internet, there's loads of people who actually do this and actually record the content of conferences and things like that via sketching. Now, you see my sketching, you just draw something, and I'm not the best. So I tried this and it doesn't really work. It doesn't really work for me. But I do sometimes scribble diagrams or things like that. I like a good flowchart. Who doesn't like a good flowchart? So the first thing I would say is that, yes, the devices just do cause distraction, but it's down to your instinct. And whether or not it's paper or laptops or tablets, it's really down to you yourself, how you would like to take notes. I'm going to give you some advantages, I think, of using technology to take notes. So if you've read that blog post that I did about starting university and you think, right, we'll have a look at this, I might be interested in that, using Evernote, and here's some advantages for you. First things first, I would say, is storage. Okay, I remember at school carting around loads of notebooks and having to have paper, and the folders got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and they had to go on bookshelves and things like that. And what I find that in my electronic version, I have my iPad. Here's my iPad, and or my laptop, and all my notes are stored on that, and they're stored really succinctly in a safe place there for me all the time. I don't need to carry a huge amount of weight around me. They're there. As well as being safely stored, and yes, I know I could be hacked and I know I might lose it, but we back up, don't we? We all back up. The other thing that I really like about it is the accessibility of it. So with my Evernote, I can access my notes anywhere from any machine. There's a web-based login. I can log it on an app on my phone. And because it synchronizes across all these devices, I can actually access it anywhere I want. Okay, of course, something like Evernote, not only can you type in, you can also use the web clipper to clip things from the internet. You can also, can I just say, Evernote does not sponsor this show. Before you think that. Evernote does not sponsor the show, but I just use it. Other note-taking applications are available. But you can clip from the internet, you can take photographs and put them in there, you can even record voice. So a lot of the time I might, when you're suddenly trying to get to sleep, you might not have this, but a lot of the time I try to get to sleep and I can't get to sleep and I suddenly have this idea, reach for my phone, open an Evernote and record instantly into there. And then when I get to work, it might be an idea for a PhD, it might be an idea for something, a blog post or something. I can then just transcribe it or move it to where it belongs. So not only can I type, I can put links in there, I can do pictures, I can annotate. It also works really well with Sketch, that allows you to annotate photographs and things like that. So not only all that, which to me is miles better than paper and pencil. You know, I've already lost that pad. I've already found that I got halfway down and I don't like down one sheet of paper and started a new sheet and I can't find where it is. I've also don't like writing on the back and my pencils run out and I don't have enough colours. Not only that, and I take a photograph on my phone and then I have to print it out and stick it in. Not all that hassle is gone. Evernote, their mobile device, got ya. The other really interesting thing, and I think this is so important, is that I can add tags to my notes. Now, if you've got a pad of paper and you're trying to remember something that you heard in a lecture or something like that, then you have to flip through it all and scan down, etc., to try to find it. With tags, it's gone because, say for example, I go on a conference and I hear about social economy, and then I go back and we have a staff meeting about social economy. Or I go somewhere and it talks about mobile devices, and I go somewhere else and they talk about mobile devices. Then as I'm taking my notes, then I tag them with mobile devices or social economy or just blog posts or something like that. And because all my notes are stored electronically, then what I find is that I can just type in that tag and it will search all my notes and bring up everything that is related to that topic. So no longer do I need to wade through bits of paper or folders or anything like that. It is all there in one place and it is easily searchable and easily accessible. Yes, back up, don't forget to back it up. But to me, apart from big ideas, the best way to take notes is on an electronic device. Okay, because of those wonderful features. And even if you're taking sketch notes, sketching, then do it on a mobile device, tag it, and then it's there. Now, your opinion might be different to mine. And if it is, then by all means nip along to the Opinion Minion forum and put your case forward. But as far as I'm concerned, the best way to take notes is via electronic devices. So that is my opinion. And that is the end of the Opinion Minion sector for this week. Hope you enjoyed that section, and it's something new, and if you'd like to get involved, then by all means go along and get involved. If you think, nah, that's not for me, then that's absolutely fine. We respect your opinion, just as if I hope you will respect mine. So what have we left? Well, we're left with two segments. We're left with the Minecraft montage, and we've also got Ask Waffling Wilson. So let's carry on, and let's quickly get on and get sorted. The Minecraft montage. Here it goes. Hello. Sorry, that was a bit of a long one. That was a bit. Have you still got? I think you still got the Minecraft montage background music. Hopefully that's gone now. That was a bit of a. I got a really itchy nose. Anybody else got an itchy nose? Minecraft montage. Now you might be aware that I have a Minecraft server, and I'm always looking for people to come and join it. So by all means, if you would like to join it, then there is a link at the top of wilsonwaffling.co.uk that you can go along and connect to. Now, I would like to share with you two things that I've been doing on my Minecraft server at the present moment in time. And what I've been able to do recently... Oh, sorry, you can't see me. There I am. The first thing I've been doing... you'll hear the music in the background. I've been doing some speed building. As if by magic it went across the screen there. this is my speed building, and the music on this this segment is by Approaching Nevada, if you're interested. And this is me speed building in my Minecraft server, and I'm actually making the portals here for the different worlds to sort of like jump into. So if you're interested in that, then you can go and have a look. I also created another speed build, which was from my Skyblock, my Skyblock server. This one's slightly different. It still has me talking in it, but I streamed this one live from Twitch TV, so you'll see me up there. No, there. I'll be sort of like here when it comes on. So this is when I streamed live for this one. Hello everyone, welcome to this my Minecraft video in my new spawn area, and the spawn area that we're going to be looking at is in my Skyblock, and this is the spawn area here, and what I'm creating is what hopefully is going to be a massive dome, and then people can port out of this to make their Skyblock. So I've made a start already. So if you would like to nip along and see the rest of that video, then by all means go. And of course, if you would like to become and join the Minecraft server, then as I said before, the link is at the top of wilsonwaffling.co.uk. If you go to the Minecraft page, then you can go straight along to the web page, and there's an application form there to fill in. Hopefully the Skyblock server and the portals will all be up by the end of the month, if not beforehand, and you can start enjoying that server. So that is all I'm going to talk about the Minecraft montage for this week. Hopefully what we might find is that in a couple of weeks time we might get some more people actually on the server, and what I'm hoping to do is actually log on to the server and do a Minecraft meetup live on stream to see everybody there, and hopefully everybody's going to put their best outfits on to sort of like come along and join us. So we're nearly at the end of the show. Yeah, it only takes about an hour to do this show, and the final part of the show is something that we call Ask Waffling Wilson. Okay, and Ask Waffling Wilson is that time of the show that I go along to my iPad, my app on my iPhone, and I see what questions you've been asking me, and we do that live, and then we see what the answer is. So let's go and do Ask Waffling Wilson.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is...
Ask Waffling Wilson.
Please note, the new number is...
Ask Waffling Wilson.
Hello?
Hello? Yes, I'm back. And now we're going to go straight across to Ask Waffling Wilson. So here's the app. Here's my phone, all at the ready. Smile. Ask Waffling Wilson. Let's get the question. And the question is, we've got one question here. So remember that if you do want to ask questions, you can either go to the website, my website, which is wilsonwaffling.co.uk, and at the top there's a button that says ask me, or you can go directly to this site here. You can go to this link here, ask.fm/waffling Wilson, and that will take you straight to the page as well. So here's the question. We've got one question today, which is absolutely brilliant. What is the furthest place from home you've visited? Now, any of you who know me, I'm not a great traveller. I don't really like travelling at all. Okay, I don't like travelling at all. I get dreadfully travel sick. Okay, I can be sick just looking at a train. So I have to dose myself up on tablets to actually get anywhere. So I can't fly. I have a real phobia about flying, and I don't think the only way, B.A. Baracus. Do you remember the A team? If you remember the A team, then B.A. Baracus and myself, we have a lot in common. No, not that we're super tough or anything like that or have mohawks. The fact is that neither of us can go in a plane. Okay, and he used to have been knocked out or ejected. Well, the same's probably with me. So it is quite limited where I went. I did, before I got really worried about flying, when I was younger, I actually managed to get to the Bay of Naples in Italy on a school trip, and we actually went to see Pompeii and Herculaneum and go up Mount Vesuvius, and that's probably the furthest I've probably been in this world. Recently, since I started to teach, probably London. Oh no, Brighton. I've been to Brighton because I went down to BERO, which is the British Educational Research Association. I went down there once for a conference, and I think that's about the furthest I've been. So either before I was an adult, the Bay of Naples, Herculaneum, Pompeii, etc. Since I was an adult, Brighton. I suppose it's better than somewhere like, I don't know, Manchester or something like that. A bit like Birmingham. I've been to Birmingham, but further is Brighton. So that was Waffling Wilson, and that brings us sadly to the end of this week's show. This has been episode 50. It's been fantastic for talking to you all again after my summer break. Thank you to the people in the chat. I've noticed that somebody's been with us all this time. They've been very quiet, very anonymous there, but it's really nice to have you along, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Please, if you are in the chat, feel free to post anything you like in the chat. Sometimes I can bring it across onto the stream if I wanted to, like this. So I can actually bring it across like that, but a lot of the time, if you just sat there listening, then that's absolutely fine. I'm more than happy for you to just listen. If you're watching this on YouTube, then please don't forget that you can always hit subscribe to follow on the next 50 episodes. What will happen in the next 50 episodes, I've got no idea, but before long we might be hitting 100. We might just be hitting 100. I might also be having a radio show soon, so look out for that, because you're more than welcome to come along and listen to me on the radio if that ever gets up and running. Don't forget, you can follow me on all my social media sites. So you can follow me on Twitter. This is Twitter. I'm also on Snapchat if you want to add me to Snapchat. And I also post a lot of pictures at Instagram on iWilsonYSJ, but by all means just follow me on Twitter and you'll see everything like that. Also, do remember I have a Facebook page called Wilson Waffling, naturally. Okay, and you can always go there and see all the posts and pictures, including some lovely, down here there's some lip syncing videos just down here if you'd like to go and see those. So they're there as well, so by all means have a look at that. Go along and give it a like and keep up to date. I'm currently on 532 likes, and although I'm not a like hoarder, it's always nice to have that appreciation that I'm actually doing something that people actually enjoy. So we're coming to the end of Wilson Waffling Live, and so this is a time that we have to say goodbye until next week. Follow me on the social medias. I have yet to do my end titles, so I do apologise. If you want to see me live at all, then by all means go along to twitch.tv/inwills if you're in a gamer, and you can go watch me play games on there, and I live stream throughout the week. Or if you're starting at our university and you've just watched me and you're new to our university, then don't forget to give me a wave as we're walking around campus tomorrow and you've got your map trying to find the way. Ask me and say hello, I waffled with Wilson. Hope you've enjoyed today's show. Let me just get ready for the ending. Have a fun week, guys. Have a fun week and look after yourselves. And I'll see you all next week on Wilson Waffling Live. Catch you later. Bye.